Hello, this is Sciso here, and this is my movie review on Tmnt. Sorry the pictures are crappy, and I know the movie is really old, but I've seen about 10 movies this year, and I'm going to be reviewing all of them in probably the next week. And then I'm going to go see Pirates and review that, okay? Anyway, about Tmnt. A lot of people I know, because I saw it with a group of friends, did not enjoy the movie. They said that the plot was stupid overall. And in reality, the plot was very stupid. There was never a major villain, but think of like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's 4 ninja turtles who eat pizza and fight bad guys and fight a guy who had giant swords. Seriously. And they're trained by a giant rat. It's a stupid, crazy, silly story. It's a silly premise. So the plot of this movie does not have to be serious and action-packed. And this movie really is action-packed. I was surprised it got a PG rating. I would have given it maybe PG-13 considering all the action, but I'm not part of the MPAA, so I can't really say these things. Anyway, the plot of the movie basically it comes around how there was this old kingdom from a very long time ago. And there were these monsters that accidentally were released through a portal. You'll learn this all in the very beginning. And basically, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, millions of years later, are broken up and everything. You have to stop them. Now, one of the things I really enjoyed about the movie was the characterization. In reality, these turtles look all exactly the same, but their personalities make you able to tell them apart so easily. Other than the fact that Leonardo is blue, Raphael is red, Donatello is purple, and Michelangelo is orange, I think. But you're able to tell because Leonardo is the leader and he's struggling. Raphael is somewhat emo. Michelangelo is the giant doofus who's always messing stuff up, and Donatello is the smart guy who really barely has any lines. I barely remember him speaking at all. Overall, the animation was very good. Considering they try to make it look somewhat like a comic book, and it really did necessarily work. But one of the negative aspects I'll have to give this movie is that there was never a true villain. The monsters were out and roaming. The monsters were nothing they really ever had to fight. There are a couple of fight scenes with the monsters, but really, the movie's about collecting the monsters, which makes the movie seem more like a good premise for a video game, collecting monsters and bringing them to a portal. But then the villain they thought they were trying to fight was the person who's trying to collect the monsters. So there was never... And then, they both, for some reason, fought randomly, even though both of them are trying to achieve the same thing by collecting those monsters. So there was never a real villain. The only villain I could really tell was this one character named the Night Watcher. That's what his name was. But I'm not going to tell you who the Night Watcher really was, even though it's extremely obvious once you get 15 minutes into the movie. But he was somewhat of a villain. Only the problem was that Leonardo was fighting him because the Night Watcher was stopping crime in the city. Now, that's the bad thing about it. They got into fights, but there was no actual villain. There were action scenes, all that jazz, but there was never a villain. And that's something that really brought it down a couple of notches. Other than that, I think I said this earlier, the voice acting was really very good. Except, a lot of people may not like me for saying this, but Mako, I didn't really think that was so good. I remember watching the cartoon a long time ago, and I never really remember Master Splinter, really acting that, his voice being like that. But maybe it was. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. I like James Arnold Taylor. I think he's the best voice actor of our time. But that's only me. Okay, so my final grade for the movie, I think I'm going to have to give it, a lot of people may not like me for this grade, but I'm going to have to give it a B+. Now, a lot of my friends were saying, terrible movie, it deserves a D, but in reality, the only bad thing about this movie was its lack of a villain, and it really didn't bring anything out, because all the struggles the turtles had to face, all the pretend bad guys that were in this movie, it was all from confusion. But you understood that every single person was in this movie was confused, and they were fighting each other. And in the end, there are good things that happened. It's a very happy ending, and that's really something to look forward to in the movie. I'm giving it a B+, and I'm giving it like a high B+, not just a meager B+, because it's an action movie, it's a fun movie, and people who enjoyed the series will definitely enjoy it, and people who didn't enjoy the series will enjoy this movie. There was lots of action, there was humor in it, and there were some sad parts. I never really was crying from it, but it was overall a good movie, and I think you'll enjoy it.